Have you ever scrolled through your social media feed and felt a sudden wave of anger, fear, or maybe even intense loyalty to a cause you barely knew about a minute ago? If so, you've likely just been on the front lines of a new kind of war, one fought not with bullets and bombs, but with clicks, shares, and carefully crafted narratives. This is the world of modern propaganda, and it's become the new global battlefield. For centuries, propaganda was the tool of states blasted through radios and plastered on posters. Think of those iconic "I Want You" posters from World War I. The goal was clear: unite a nation, demonize an enemy, and rally support for a physical conflict. The state controlled the message, the medium, and the audience. It was a top-down monologue. But the internet, and more specifically social media, completely shattered that model. Suddenly, everyone has a printing press, a radio tower, and a television studio right in their pocket. The power to broadcast a message is no longer held by a select few. This democratization of information was hailed as a revolutionary step for freedom and connection, and in many ways, it was. But it also created the perfect storm for propaganda to evolve into something far more personal, pervasive, and potent. The new battlefield isn't a physical place, it's our minds. And the weapons are algorithms, memes, viral videos, and armies of bots and trolls. Unlike the old-school posters, modern propaganda doesn't feel like propaganda. It feels like a genuine post from a friend, a shocking news clip from an independent journalist, or a hilarious meme that just happens to perfectly capture your frustrations. So how does it actually work? The secret sauce is data. Every time you like a post, watch a video, or join a group, you're feeding data into powerful algorithms. These algorithms learn what makes you tick, what you love, what you hate, and most importantly, what you fear. They then create a personalized reality bubble just for you, a feed filled with content designed to keep you engaged. This is where propagandists strike. They don't need to create a single message for an entire nation. Instead, they can create thousands of micro-targeted messages, each tailored to a specific demographic, personality type, or even an individual. For one person, it might be a story about economic anxiety. For another, it might be a post stoking cultural fears. For a third, it could be a conspiracy theory that seems to explain a complex world. These messages are designed to be emotionally charged. Neuroscientists have shown that our brains are hardwired to react more strongly to emotional content, especially negative emotions like fear and anger. When we're angry or afraid, our critical thinking skills take a nosedive. We're more likely to believe information without questioning it and share it instantly, driven by an emotional reflex rather than rational thought. This is the engine of virality. A lie can, quite literally, travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes. And it's not just about spreading falsehoods. A key tactic of modern propaganda is to simply overwhelm us. This is often called the firehose of falsehood model. It involves pumping out so many different stories, so many conflicting narratives, that we no longer know what to believe. The goal isn't necessarily to convince you of one specific lie, but to make you doubt everything. When you're exhausted and confused, you become cynical and disengage. You might think, they're all liars. What's the point? And in that moment of apathy, the propagandist wins. A disengaged public is a compliant public. We also see the rise of coordinated inauthentic behavior. This sounds complicated, but it has basically organized campaigns using fake accounts, bots, or paid human trolls to create the illusion of a grassroots movement. They can make a fringe idea seem popular, they can shout down dissenting opinions, and they can hijack online conversations. Have you ever seen a comment section suddenly flooded with identical, aggressive messages? You've likely witnessed one of these campaigns in action. It's a digital form of intimidation designed to make people with opposing views feel isolated and afraid to speak up. This isn't just about politics or elections either. This new battlefield impacts everything from public health. Think of the misinformation campaigns that ran rampant during the pandemic to corporate reputations and even our personal relationships. Families have been torn apart by arguments that started with a shared post on social media. The division sown online is spilling over into our real lives, fracturing our communities. So, are we doomed? Is there any way to fight back on this new battlefield? The answer is a resounding yes, but it requires a new set of skills. We need to become digital warriors, armed not with anger, but with critical thinking. The first and most important step is to recognize our own emotional responses. Before you share that outrageous article or that infuriating video, pause. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this so strongly? Is this content designed to make me angry or afraid? Strong emotions are a red flag. They are a signal to slow down, not to speed up, and hit share. Second, practice digital literacy. This means being a detective every time you go online. Who is behind this information? What is their motive? Is this a reputable source? Learn to do a quick lateral read. When you encounter a new source, open another tab and search for its name. See what other, more established sources say about it. It takes 10 seconds and can save you from falling for a lie. Check the date on articles. Old news is often repackaged to stir up fresh outrage. Look for evidence. Does the story cite its sources? Can you verify them? Third, we need to break out of our echo chambers. The algorithms want to keep us in our bubbles, but we have to actively resist. Make an effort to follow people and sources that you don't necessarily agree with, not to argue with them, but to understand their perspective. Seeing the world through different eyes is the best antidote to the us versus them mentality that propaganda thrives on. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, let's change the way we engage. The battlefield thrives on conflict. Instead of adding to the noise with another angry comment, try asking questions. Instead of sharing something divisive, share something constructive, something that brings people together. Let's champion nuance and complexity in a world that pushes us towards simple and often false binaries. The war for our attention and our beliefs is the defining conflict of the 21st century. It's happening right now on the screen you're looking at. But unlike a traditional war, we all have a role to play. We can be unwitting soldiers, spreading division and falsehoods, or we can be digital peacekeepers, promoting truth, empathy, and critical thought. The choice is ours with every click, every share, and every conversation. The future of our shared reality depends on it. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this useful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that helps you navigate our complex world. See you in the next one.